We had a great episode coming up for you, some exciting things to talk about. I told you we'd turn it around. We told you we'd turn it around.
I'm bullish about 110. Ethereum as well.
And Solana. I was like, there's no need to rub it in.
She was bitter.
What we predicted all along was that people would start rotating out of... She was bitter. Today's actually a really important day, October 29th.
Yeah.
2 reasons.
Fed rate cuts.
The spaceship is flying through the galaxy. But when you see governments actually investing in...
We are so back.
Smart buys at the moment. Look, I think France just needs to double down on the frog meme and just invest solely into Pepe.
Would you like to come have some coffee and pie with me?
We need to find a coffee first. Let's sit outside. It's nice and sunny.
It's nice and sunny.
And let's talk about crypto. Okay, I'm super excited. We had a couple of red weeks, let's call them, and we've got some green candles. So we did this week. This morning I woke up, it was all red, but it was
CME gap.
minor. But I think we called it. It was really, really funny. So last week we wrapped up the podcast, and I was like, Jesus, man, you were bitter. Like you were not in a good mood. I don't know if it came across on camera, but I'm like, you were really, really bitter.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, I think, you were super bullish on WhatsApp, and I thought you were being sarcastic because you were so excited about the market again. I'm like, there's no need to rub it in.
Yeah.
But you are. No, you're
I'm bullish again.
You've come over to the bullish side again, which I told you we'd turn it around. We told you we'd turn it around.
Yeah, definitely. Because we've reclaimed 110 and Bitcoin did 115. Got rejected, but it's actually a good territory. Above 110 is, I'm bullish above 110.
Yeah.
That's what my thesis has been so far.
Yep.
And Ethereum as well, got above 4,000. So that's a very crucial psychological support come resistance.
And Solana 200.
Solana 200, yeah.
Solana
so
200.
those are psychological levels, I think, in the market right now. So anything
100%.
above is bullish to me
Yeah.
for the short term. On the long term, I'm a super bull. But
Good. So let's see what happens. So we had gold hit the all-time high and then dipped. And I think that's what we predicted all along was that people would start rotating out of gold into crypto. And I think so. I mean, coincidentally, we saw gold dip and Bitcoin and ETH go up. And when Bitcoin and ETH went up, the whole crypto market followed suit. So I think we saw that, which is great to see that we were right and great to see that it was happening. Now today, I woke up and to your graph of the SP 500 hit an all-time high and gone absolutely through the roof.
So SPX 500 is now SPX 6900.
SPF, jeez.
So yeah, not the meme, but the actual SPX 100
S&P 500
hit 6900. So yeah, that was the first thing I saw in the morning because I had certain alerts set.
Yeah.
On that 6900 mark that I had put on a year back, I think.
I haven't even looked on X, but I know the SPX 6900 community is just going crazy with that and memeing it, which is in line with sort of where
the
they
actual
sit.
meme thesis, yeah. So that's interesting, and yeah, the sentiment is risk on. Wintermute published a report stating that it's actually a risk on environment again. And that's what we're seeing right now. So Bitcoin is choppy, but I think this chop is almost ending. That's what I feel.
It's just that crazy volatility.
I think
It's that
last legs.
crazy volatility.
Last legs of downside. That's what I feel. Unless we get a close below 110 again on a daily or a 3-day chart or a higher time frame.
I'm hoping that we see rotation out of the S&P 500 into crypto.
Yeah.
I think one really interesting point to make is it's compared to last cycle, it's so much easier to get into stocks now than it was 4 years ago because of you can purchase on Revolut, you can purchase on a lot of banking apps a lot easier than it was before. So I do think we see retail going into stocks, and I'm hoping that we see that same retail pivot out of stocks into crypto.
Yeah, and now you can purchase stocks on chain as well, so that's another additional layer of liquidity.
Did we see them pump at all?
Yeah, I think
those stocks pumped as well.
Those stocks are
because you always see PAXG go up and gold goes up, of course, because it's tokenized gold. But
I think the bigger piece of the puzzle is now that stocks can be bought on chain, and then you can have them as a collateral as well. That's what we have discussed 4 or 5 videos back.
Yeah,
that it's going to be a big wave of liquidity that you can. That's what blockchain is all about, right? The capital efficiency.
Yeah.
Wherein you can be able to move the capital in and out very quickly, and that can be implemented to any sort of asset class.
And I think that's what we see people rotating out of gold. Thank you, Batch Brew. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I remember she wasn't happy last time we were here as well.
Sounds. Yeah. She was bitter.
She was bitter.
But now we are bullish. We are so back.
Coffee is, we didn't even need a coffee to be lively.
Yeah.
Okay, today's actually a really important day, October 29th.
Yeah.
2 reasons.
Fed rate cuts, 98% probability of getting a 25 bips rate cut. That's what the actual
That's
market is
huge.
now. Yeah.
That's huge.
I think those were, and that's happening in a stagflation or a uplifted inflation sort of thing. So so just to cover that. So the US CPI data did come in line with sort of expectations, below the expectations actually.
Yep.
That's where we've seen a lot of chop in the Bitcoin. But importantly, it's held the market structure well. And now the rate cut is almost confirmed. And then we've got the Fed Powell speech at 2:30 US timing. So I think that's
Expecting
where...
a dovish speech.
Yeah. I think it's going to be dovish because there's a big market week.
It's really funny. We sat here actually last time they did the big Fed meeting as well. I remember talking about it there.
Yeah. So I think, so that's happening. So that's another bullish news for the market. And I think the market is very well positioned right now to be able to, because the stablecoin supply is just reaching an all-time high.
Yeah.
So those stablecoins need to be deployed somewhere, right? The risk-on sentiment is going to deploy it to any risk-on asset like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Right now, the stablecoin market is just surging, and the stablecoins are basically there to get some sort of a yield that's like 5 or 8% on-chain, right?
Yes.
But when there's a huge sort of like risk-on play, that stablecoin supply will be deployed into actual assets on-chain. So that's where the push or the big surge we can see.
Which is why
from today.
it's still very much a stablecoin summer.
Yes. Yeah.
Still very much a stablecoin summer. The other big news, as we mentioned last week, is that the spaceship that's flying through the galaxy, 3i Atlas, is hidden behind the sun and is, I think, on the 29th going to pop out from the sun and potentially invade and accept Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
That's my theory, that'll pump Bitcoin.
So yeah. So there are AI agents. So I think they are already deployed. X402. That's what
That's what
happened over the weekend actually. So coming to the
Oh yeah,
WhatsApp thing,
virtuals.
Yeah, virtuals and those AI agentic protocols doing payments themselves. That's another big piece. I think that's where all those AI companies are now pivoting or jumping onto that, because the AI agents that are created need to transact between themselves as well, right? So we need that proper infrastructure, and that's where Coinbase actually sort of tweeted about it, and then...
I hope we're not jinxing it, right? Because it's been very volatile. We have a great episode, a week later, it's not so great episode, week after, it's a great episode again.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a very while. I think that's been, this cycle has more than any been like that because of these choppy, artificial, Trump tweets something.
Yeah.
But it does really feel, to me, like just before alt season hit 2020, really feels like a lot of the things that the community and the industry and the market have been building towards, and now the foundation, the groundwork is laid, and we just need the spark from the Fed, the spark from the US government, narrative like we spoke about last week, to really get it going, because there's so many projects that are doing great. There's a lot of shit coins out there. That is one thing.
More than 26 million tracked on CoinMarket.
It's unbelievable.
That's a new stat, man. Like crazy.
So it's a lot of noise, but I think if we just focus on top 20 as being
top 50,
the blue chips, top 50 being a little bit more riskier, top 75, top 100, and building a portfolio like that, I think we're really in for a pump soon, because all the market conditions are coming up now. But the industry conditions and the infrastructure is there. I think we're in a really strong spot. I'm really bullish.
Yeah, that's true. I think especially the comments came from Federal Reserve directly that they'll be ending the QT, so the quantitative tapering, right? So,
and it's really funny though, because you jump on X and people are lining up graphs to match any narrative. If you wanna take a graph and draw a line through it and say they were about to crash, you can do it. And overlay some historical data. If you wanna do a graph and show that Bitcoin's going to 500 grand in 2 weeks, you can do it.
Some random weighted moving averages.
There's so many different experts and
Indicators.
everyone, you know, if you're engaged with farming, you can pretty much make a case for anything.
Yeah.
But I think
I don't
there's
see
money in the
500K or 200K straight away.
but there's money in the market. There's rate cuts. M2 money supply is strong.
Yeah.
There's, I think FOMO is now coming up. Fear and greed index is at 42%. It was 20 something last week.
Yeah.
Alt season's not there yet, but we're sort of drifting more into alt season territory.
Yeah.
But I think now is, it's a good time to buy now, and I think retail's finally coming.
Yeah.
I think retail's gonna come in now, especially with all these ETFs that are coming up.
Yeah.
So now there's ETFs that are essentially going to be the S&P 500. There's ETFs that will have the blue chip altcoins. So they'll have, we're not even talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're talking JP Morgan's doing an XRP and Solana ETF, and we'll have other altcoins in there, probably AVAX, Chainlink.
Yeah.
JP Morgan, Grayscale's doing the same thing. So now, like you look at the S&P 500 doing so well, we're creating ETFs that will sort of mimic that, I think.
Yeah, I
and
think
that's when retail just comes in.
Yeah.
Make it easy to buy, done.
Yeah, they are so bullish on the altcoins because the approval procedure on the SEC is now lenient as well. So I think the altcoins might see that the top 20 or top 50 altcoins might see their ETFs getting approval. And then the people are now trusting the, like for example, BlackRock or these organizations like Grayscale much more than actually the exchanges that they buy and trade with.
Yep.
Because it's much more reliable and as well as like trustable.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen, and that's a bullish case for.
Seemingly more.
Yeah, seemingly more. Yeah. So
but that is retail. That's mass adoption. It's the mass adoption that the industry always wanted to get somehow. Validation, mass adoption. We finally made it. We're an accepted asset class.
Yeah.
I think we're there now. Retail just needs to come in, and with the rate cuts,
more liquidity flows into the market.
More liquidity flows into the market.
Yeah, rate cuts, like mortgage payments go down. People have actually excess money that they can park into something.
And there's still some things, potential rumors around the corner, like Trump handing out some money.
Oh yeah,
would be
It
great.
has been ongoing for a couple months. He wants to basically give distribute tariff revenue.
Did you see? So he can be 3-time president. He's like, I could be president again. I just need to run as vice president, and then the president needs to step down.
Yeah.
So I think he definitely wants to have a strong reputation.
Yeah.
And this is the way. Like, I mean, he's done. We did speeches last week saying that the US needs to lead crypto, and crypto's in a strong place.
Yeah, that's where the Trump meme coin actually
pumped
20%. But there are unlocks. Like we have always discussed, like you need to be careful with the token unlocks because you are being dumped upon by the insiders
by
or
Trump.
someone. Yeah.
Or by Barron.
Oh yeah. So I think that's what is happening. So Trump coin did pump 20%, got retraced 10% or around that level back. So it's a buy the dip, sell the rip sort of environment. That's where you're seeing week to week.
I think we get a lot of clients at Day One X. We never give financial advice, but we have great chats with clients, and sort of like we have chats like this.
Yeah.
And there has been this: is the bottom in? Is the bottom of Bitcoin in? Should I be waiting for another dip? And increasingly, I feel like if you wait longer, you might miss the rip.
That's true.
You might miss the rip. I think it's time to get in now.
Yeah.
If you've got some, if you have some stable coins, some dry powder, I think it is more likely that you'll miss the rip than that there'd be another massive dip. Now, there could be.
Because the sellers are
There could be, because it's still so unpredictable. Trump could just say, I hate Bitcoin, and it'll tank, right?
Now he won't.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But I think we're seeing, The other interesting one was Zcash pumped.
Oh, yeah. The privacy narrative is all over the place, man. Like,
Massive.
Naval started it, actually.
Yeah.
So Naval Ravikant, one of...
So Zcash is a fork originally of Bitcoin. Then it was forked to create Bitcoin Private, which is the first time I got rug pulled, a very long time ago.
And then Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond.
Gold, everything was sort of... So
Craziness.
Zcash was essentially Bitcoin with ZK...
Privacy layer.
We don't trade it on day one only because we stay away from privacy coins. But it's interesting to see that pump. I think people are looking at these older projects. So we talk about Dino coins. Like, that's a Dino coin. That's a Gen 1 coin. That is a Dino
Yeah.
coin. It's a Cretaceous period coin. And pumped 20%.
Yeah, it has already
Like this.
done
It was an amazing candle.
almost 7x from the bottom.
Amazing candle.
But against BTC is still nothing. So there's a tiny bit of green on if you compare it against BTC.
Yep.
So because it was sort of a similar price back then in 2013-14 as well. So yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But it just goes to show these old projects aren't dead, which is why I think what we've always said, if you're building a portfolio, don't be afraid don't always look for the new shiny toy, because I think AVAX, ADA, Chainlink are still going to do really, really well. We've been bullish on them from the start.
Yeah.
There has been some new projects that have come out. Aster probably being the darling recently,
Yeah.
which is the
DexPerp.
the DexPerp on BNB,
Yeah.
which is when volume flows in, they flow through DEXs. So we both rebalanced our portfolios. I don't quite know what you did. I picked up some more Aster. I picked up some Uniswap. I cycled out of Ondo into Uniswap. Ondo. Look, Ondo will pump now. Just because I sold half my bag, Ondo will pump now.
So
BNB.
we can counter trade you.
Yeah.
The new Jim Cramer in the town.
Yeah. That was the exit liquidity. But I think those infrastructure plays are smart buys at the moment.
Definitely. And one of the two infrastructure plays I'm very bullish on is Pendle as well as Link. Pendle because it's generating heavy revenue. It's plugged
You've
into
been massive on Pendle since I think the first or second video. You've always been bullish on
I was
Pendle.
one of the the day Pendle launched, I was like literally.
And that's the reason we have it on day one, is because you said we need Pendle.
I
Yeah.
bought it like the same day because that's one of the key innovations that happened on the yield bearing side. There was nothing on the yield bearing assets.
Yeah.
So they came up with the innovation. The token unlocks are almost done.
UK based, right?
Yeah.
Pendle's UK based.
Yeah. It's decentralized in a way, but yeah. Initiated from there. So, and the other one is Chainlink. So Chainlink is doing all the moves in sort of regulatory environment with talking to governments, talking to different providers, talking to Visa or MasterCard for the stablecoin.
I keep saying it.
infrastructure.
Why not happen this cycle? But Chainlink becomes a top 5 easy asset, and I think flips XRP. I think
Definitely.
Chainlink are doing what XRP has always hyped up. Chainlink have quietly been doing it through partnerships, through infrastructure building. I think Chainlink is, whatever happens with the market, the way that Web3 is now built and the way that blockchain and crypto trading is now built, Chainlink is there every step of the way.
Yeah.
And it's
Be it the US.
undervalued at the moment. I think that is, if you're looking for a
Massively.
long-term hold, perhaps to the next cycle. I think it does really well this cycle, but if you're okay with holding for 5 years,
Yeah. That is one of the projects I would
think
apart
Chainlink
from
is-
BTC and Ethereum. And
not financial advice, but I
Yeah.
think for me, Chainlink's a no-brainer.
yeah, especially after they have turned on the buying back of Chainlink tokens for the Chainlink
They
reserve.
just do.
XRP doesn't
they
do
do
that,
everything
right?
right. They run like a business. They have staff. They have HR. I told you.
They're a corporate business now.
A friend of a friend is a developer there, a remote developer out of Adelaide, and I wanted to get him on the podcast, and he said HR won't let him. So it's a real legitimate business, and so I think they'll do really, really well. The other real legitimate business I wanted you to talk about is Pengu.
Oh yes, one of my favorites. I am so bullish on Pengu. Always bullish on Pengu, but the thing is, like, they are the only NFT business that I know of that are generating real revenue because they've got the physical toys as Pengus in Walmart and like
It's
the
so
other.
funny how we've come like full circle, right? We're NFTs that are now physical.
Yeah, I think anything that survives in a way needs to generate some sort of a business throughout, like revenue throughout bear market or bull market, doesn't matter. But the company needs to survive that revenue. The other NFT projects are not having enough utility. They are just trying to get traction based on narratives or whatever comes new.
We saw that
They're
with
just
We
pivoting
saw
on
that with gaming, right? $1 trillion market caps, not trillion,
doing nothing.
$1 billion market caps, and 4 players.
Exactly. And they're just incentivizing the players. It's more of a subsidy. Once the subsidy is gone, the players just shift to a new subsidy-based game. So that's where what has happened. And I think Pengu is very well positioned right now because there's an ETF that's already filed for
Pengu ETF.
Yes.
Okay.
And that happened. That's where the whole pump came from 10 cent, like 1 cent to 4 cent level, because it was really backed by ETF play. And I still think we're going to see NFT, the first NFT ETF. That's gonna be a Pengu ETF.
We talked, maybe Doge. If Doge is still,
Doge is
well,
just a
Doge is an
meme.
NFT, but a meme, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
Yeah, we see Doge ETF as well.
we talked about it last week, where it's been a market dip, but it's not because these projects are worth any less not from a monetary value. Of course, they're worth less, but worth doing anything bad or doing anything wrong or going in the wrong direction. The whole market just dipped. So if you believed Pengu was a great project when it was at 4 cents, almost 5 cents, it's still a great project.
Yes.
The whole market's just gone down. If you believed that Chainlink was great at 27, it's still a great project at 14.
Yeah. Still doing more business,
Still
more
doing more
partnerships,
business. And I
more
think the fact that
integrations.
these companies like Pengu and Chainlink are surviving even through a market dip goes to show that there's longevity there. Of
Yep.
course, Chainlink has proven through multiple cycles that there's longevity there.
Yes.
But I think these are the projects to invest in because you see a lot of others as soon as there's a squeeze and as soon as their price dips and their valuation dips and they can't sell off and the business is over. We'll just go back to normal business fundamentals. Or they weren't doing anything to begin with
Yep.
anyway.
Yeah, they're just like cloning the things that are already existing or like forking the infrastructure.
Memes, and that's how memes sort of come and go, right?
Yeah. But I'm bullish on the founders of Chainlink, especially as well as Pengu as well.
Chainlink's a business. Like
Luca,
Chainlink is like buying Chainlink is like buying, I think, into an Apple or an Nvidia, into something like Nvidia
Yeah.
that build infrastructure for the rest of the industry.
Definitely.
I think Chainlink is
The Nvidia.
is buying a stock. Buying Chainlink is like buying a stock in a legitimate
Correct.
business with profit, with staff, with a roadmap, with deliverables, with clients, and with revenue.
Yeah, that's like totally agreed on that. Coming to Nvidia, so Nvidia did surpass $200 mark, and they became like more than 4.8 trillion dollars as a market cap. So one of the biggest, like I'm not too sure if it's a bubble or it's just because they announced like 6 or 7 partnerships last week with multiple funding. Like so they'll be funding multiple projects. They'll be tying up with different countries, companies all over the place, and they are all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
so we are living right now in the biggest bubble. That's what I
It's
see.
great. Nvidia is just a crazy story.
Yeah.
Being a graphics card manufacturer to like a niche, and I guess it's really interesting to look at it from that point of view.
Yep.
Gaming was a niche. You
Used
had
to.
like it was like showing my age here, but you had like Nvidia, you had like GeForce, the competitor, like whatever it was, right? And
A bit of Intel competitors.
right when the biggest business deal that they could have, and I remember what they always fought for, was being included in the next console, right?
Yeah.
If they had signed a deal with Sony or Microsoft, that was like massive, and I think Nvidia did really, really well. I believe it was with Microsoft.
Yep.
But these were niche. It was gaming. It was niche. Now look at
They've come
what
a long
Nvidia does. It's no longer about gaming. Gaming is a tiny fraction of what they do. It's about mining crypto. It's about 3D processors. It's about supporting the movie industry. It's about supporting AI.
Everywhere.
Everything is done on a GPU. A GPU are graphics processors.
Yep.
AI has nothing to do with GPU, with graphics, right? But it's pivoted really, really well, like amazingly well. I don't even need you just look at the stock price. It doesn't need me to validate it. But I think looking at what crypto does now, you go, oh, it's a this, or it's just a that, or it's just a that. These projects can pivot
Yep.
with the right capital and could be doing something completely different in 4 years, in 5 years, in 2 years, and never count them out. The ones that have good fundamentals and a good team behind them.
Yeah.
I think that's the future. We're now, I think, like Chainlink, Pengu, we're betting now on the next big businesses. In my
or
opinion.
the founders, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those founders are extremely knowledgeable, talented, have all the right connections, networks,
Which
right
is,
product as
and
well.
I used crypto to raise money, which is when we did the compliance podcast when you were away, is why Australia is in such danger of losing this next tech innovation because they're making it so difficult to develop blockchain and crypto products in Australia.
Yeah.
And this is no longer about blockchain, crypto, Web3 products. This is just where tech is heading
towards.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
And if compliance in the Australian government makes it difficult to be innovative here,
Yeah.
we see these projects going overseas.
Yeah.
And we'll lose talent, and Australia will lose money, and we'll just be left out of the next tech bubble because
Yeah.
it just has this small-minded view on crypto.
Yeah,
It's dangerous.
That's where I really like Trump and the U.S. government, especially. And I always get into a friendly banter with my wife because she's like, she hates Trump because of the uncertainty that Trump
Yeah.
has caused. But I really like the innovation or like the stepping upfront with all the innovation that's happening, and they are inviting actually the companies to get registered there,
Yeah.
make the business legitimate,
Yeah.
and be able to provide value because Trump is so bullish on make in America.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, man. Like,
And-
why
and-
not make in Australia? Like, Australia should have all those sort of things. It's a global world, right?
Yeah.
The talent can be placed anywhere. That's where crypto innovation is all about. Like, the ability to move money on the quickest way possible.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the capital efficiency, right?
Government here is just behind that.
Too
And if
lazy.
it's I think scared, short-sighted. I think that the good thing about Trump is that he is able to take a
Bold decisions.
long-term view on things as well.
Yeah.
Because even if he doesn't, and he won't have a third presidency, he's setting up a lot of his business, his friends, and his children to succeed. So
Yeah.
he doesn't look at it as just being re-elected in 4 years or not being re-elected or short-term fixes. He has a long-term play, which I think America needed, and I think everybody needs. I think, yeah, Australia needs. I think we're in a lot of danger here of missing out the next wave. It is
of
actually
innovation.
scary. It's I think tech-wise we're going backwards.
Yeah. That's what I've seen always in Australia. We are like,
Yeah.
well, that's another thing.
Well, that's another podcast. There's the bitter part of the podcast. But back to being bullish, I think it's a great time to invest and have a look at projects that are going to be booming.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a lot of good news around the corner. So traditionally, end of year markets have pick up in the bull cycle. So I think we have that to expect. Trump, speaking of Trump, and China have apparently come to an agreement on
Oh yeah,
On
the
the-
US trade deal.
on the
Yeah.
US trade deal and the tariffs.
Yep.
So we have that chapter to get behind us to look forward to.
Yeah, and France just proposed of buying 420k Bitcoin. That's roughly 6%. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So they are trying to make the moves as well into Bitcoin. So they won't be buying it straight away as a treasury, but they'll be mining it. So they want
Great.
They have got a target of roughly 6% liquid supply that they want to mine as a balance sheet on like France's balance sheet.
I don't think any other country has sort of done that, have they? Mining. I know.
Well, there are talks about Kazakhstan or Pakistan.
I was going to say,
trying to
I know some of the Eastern European countries where electricity was so cheap were building
Yeah.
infrastructure to do it.
Iran, the cheapest electricity in the world to mine Bitcoin.
To mine
so
Bitcoin, yeah.
what France is
But not
trying
from
to,
I don't know. I can't remember ever a government saying they were doing it. I think it was more private. Yeah?
Yeah. So France did sort of like, it's still early alpha. We don't have a full enclosure about the news, but it's a verified source information. So France
think-
has just proposed 420k Bitcoin that they'll be mining using their own nuclear energy reactors. So that's
Yeah, because France is nuclear power. I
because
think.
that's what El Salvador has been doing like since 6 years, man.
Look, I think France just needs to double down on crypto and double down on the frog meme and just invest
shit.
solely into Pepe. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, so that's what I've always seen. Like there will be governments chasing the Bitcoin narrative, either by directly buying or either supporting the infrastructure of mining, using the natural resources or the renewable energy resources. And it's a
And when
it's a good way.
when you see governments making decisions like that and spending not only on buying, like if they're buying crypto, they can sell crypto. So that's one thing. Like it could be seen as a short-term investment or thing. But when you see governments actually investing into infrastructure and long-term goals like that,
More
it just
jobs.
goes more jobs, and then they have to support that industry. They have to build offices around it. They have to do marketing. They have to do educational pieces. They have to hire people to
GDP
fill
growth.
those roles. They have to get the Nvidia miners set up. It
Yeah.
shows a long-term commitment, and then it's if you look at that, like how can you think the industry is going away?
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
It's not going anywhere. We have
Especially the stable coins, like the buzz around stable coins. So Citi and Coinbase have sort of come to a formal partnership where they are exploring stablecoin payments.
Yep.
So Citibank is a massive bank, we all know, right? And the biggest commitment coming from JP Morgan using Bitcoin and Ethereum as a collateral to be able to borrow against it and use it as to be able to borrow by a bank, you park your BTC or Ethereum ETF to them, you'll be able to borrow whatever they want to, the rates. But yeah, that's a big thing. So that's basically the biggest organizations in the world committing to something. So we're not going anywhere. We're just
not
getting
going
started
anywhere.
on an institutional
And I think
level.
that becomes amazing where you go, okay, like let's invest into Bitcoin now. Let's invest into the projects that we know aren't going anywhere, because in the future we can't just park them and either earn interest on it or
Stake it, man. Like
stake it or
staking
borrow,
ETFs, getting
borrow
approvals
against
as
it.
well. Yeah. So it's just another piece of like you're utilizing your money with something that's scarce, that's limited, especially Bitcoin. That is sort of programmed to go up. That's not a financial advice, but that's how Bitcoin is programmed.
Look, I don't think financial advice or not. I think that's how Bitcoin is programmed. That's why there's
The halving,
the
and everything.
halvings, and that's just the way it's meant. Bitcoin is meant to go up, and it's really interesting because you talk to the people that are most bullish on Bitcoin hitting like crazy levels, like 1 million in Bitcoin,
Yeah.
are like software engineers, because they look at it and they go, okay, but that's what
That
it's
does make
designed
sense,
to do.
man. Yeah, exactly.
It's designed to do that. Scarcity, having, like, it's designed to go up to that much. So I was having a chat with someone actually. Makes it really difficult to be an entrepreneur and go, I'm going to invest time and money into a business that maybe will make some money. Whereas
Why not
I
go
could just invest time and money into Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Because it's guaranteed to go up.
Yeah, proof of
20x
energy,
from
right?
here, you
proof
know?
of work, proof of energy. So that's where US is being very bullish because I think they want to reprice or like back the US dollar with literally energy. And what is energy? It's Bitcoin.
I think if we look at the conspiracy theories, and we talk about aliens now, but love a conspiracy theory. I think this is a redistribution of wealth. Because the wealthy are buying Bitcoin. They're all buying Bitcoin. There's no one wealthy that doesn't have Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they will hold this because they know it'll go up. There's no sell pressure on them. They'll hold it, make scarcity go down because they know it'll go up. So everybody that sort of doesn't have it, doesn't hold it, is long term. We always joke about talk about being exit liquidity. You're long term. Exit liquidity
because the fiat is just going down, right?
And then when the 1% hold all the Bitcoin, and that is the store of wealth.
Yeah, because that's where the capital.
How do you claw your way back?
Yeah,
How do you claw your way back from then we have like a slave class, or AI comes in.
Or AI comes over, yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Like the banks are so bullish on gold, and the US is currently so bullish on Bitcoin because that's the US dollar's next big move, right? They need some sort of a backing because the trust from the government or the US dollar is just depleting. That's what we have seen. So I think US dollar needs to be backed by. That's what like conspiracy theory is all about, in a way. But yeah, I see that happening.
It would be crazy. Like, and I'm not saying it won't happen, but I just imagine Bitcoin, US dollar goes, okay, well, look, the US dollar is not backed by gold now anyway, right? It's no longer a gold
Since
standard.
1971, yeah.
But saying, okay, well, we're just holding our reserves in Bitcoin is just...
Yeah, and there are talks from like the US senators as well that they wanna, like they can pay off half the debt because the debt is like surpassing $38 trillion now. So
if they hold enough Bitcoin long term, and Bitcoin goes 10x from here, which some predictions are that Bitcoin hits $1 million.
Yes.
So that's slightly less, but let's just call it a 10x.
Yep.
Get enough of it, pay off the debt.
Yeah, the thing is they need to sell it against US dollar to be able to pay the debt. So that's where, or either it gets replaced by the standard. That's the next move. So I think what has happened so far in this industry, all the software engineers have become economists as well. They know so much about finance, money, and economy. Much better than the real economists.
I think that's sort of the world that we live in. Once again, is another sort of tangent. But you can no longer be a matter expert in one thing. You have to be a jack of all trades. So you have to know a lot of different things to be successful in this world.
That's true.
And as someone that's raising 2 young children, it's no longer like just study this to be this. You need to know as much as you can.
Yeah. And this industry is so massive. Like every day there's new. That's where I've like spent my whole life here. I remember the time wherein my parents were literally sitting against me when I told them that, okay, I'm going to invest in Bitcoin. They were like, okay, this is scam, you're going to lose and whatnot. But now they are the ones investing into Bitcoin and they give me the price updates every day, man. Like I've seen that evolution because they understand like what Bitcoin is all about. They've grown alongside what I've like spent my whole life in. Yeah.
I love this.
To see that.
It's still sort of that like dichotomy, that separation of the Bitcoin maxis and the rest. I had a great breakfast with the guys behind Bitcoin Basics at University of Melbourne. So we're gonna support their event. They run it every other month. There's one coming up next week. We'll put the date. I think it's the 9th of November. Sorry guys if I forgot. I'll put the date
I think 5th.
in the description. So if you're in Melbourne, come along to that. It's just a how to get into Bitcoin, how to trade Bitcoin. But I loved sitting there. You know, I used to be a Bitcoin maxi, and now working at an exchange, you do get passionate about other projects like Chainlink and stuff like that. But it's really nice just sitting there having a coffee with them last week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them onto the podcast. But just hearing about like Bitcoin being it for them, I think was sort of a nice throwback to where I used to be.
Yeah.
But it's still the smartest play. Buy, hold, stake, get loans on it, and get ready for the future because I think this is probably the most bullish. I hope we haven't jinxed it, man. This is the most bullish episode that we've
depend
done.
on the price. That's what I feel. Like if you want to be in this industry,
It's a long-term play.
Yeah, it's a long-term play.
You got to zoom out. We always say like
Unless
let's zoom out.
there's
This
a
time
threat
last
of
year,
quantum
Bitcoin was under 70 grand, maybe just over now.
Yeah.
But it's still.
It was about to pump.
Yeah.
Last year, this time we were Uptober.
Yeah.
This is Rectober so far.
Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
A lot of chop though, but yeah. So yesterday the monthly candle turned green. Now it's back to red, but I think we see good candles from today.
I think we see good candles with.
Massive influx of liquidity.
I think we see good candles with the Fed meeting.
Yep.
Rate cuts. Trump printing some money.
Yeah.
The aliens visiting. And I don't know.
It's actually a good time to hold hard assets like Bitcoin, gold, or whatever you believe in, because the trust on the US dollar or any fiat is just depreciating against the hard assets like gold or Bitcoin. So it's always wise to get into something sort of thing that
Hold
you
spot.
can control. Yeah.
Hold spot.
Just hold
yeah.
spot.
Just hold spot.
If you're a long-term believer, hold spot. If not, then you can just trade in, trade out, make more US dollar. Why not?
Why not? Hey, we're hiring a blockchain developer as well at Day 1X. So if you've stuck around and you love crypto the way that we love crypto and you'd like to come work with us, shoot me a note in the comments or find a way to email me, or it's Mike Ski on Twitter, on X. And we'd love to have a chat with you. We're growing, the industry's growing. That's it. Yeah, look, hopefully we haven't jinxed anything. There's been feels like a quick chat.
Yeah.
Although it's the same length as normal. Discussed a lot of things. I'm super pumped. I'm super bullish. I hope we're not sitting here next week crying. But I don't think we will be.
Yep. Until next time.
Until next time. Like, subscribe, coffee here. Yeah, good. And hopefully a nicer view and not too loud. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.